Good afternoon, friends. This is TS Education Online. So today let us discuss one of the most important subject for civil service preliminary examination, that is Indian polity. Indian Constitution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1950 and it came into full operation with effect from 26 January 1950. The Constitution has originally 22 parts, 395 articles and 8 schedules. How Constitution was framed? Let us discuss about the framing of the Indian Constitution. The Constitution of India was framed by Constituent Assembly, which was set up under the Cabinet Mission Plan. The Constituent Assembly took almost 3 years, that is 2 years and 11 months and 18 days to complete its historic task of drafting the Constitution of India. As per the composition of the Assembly, members were chosen by indirect election by the members of provincial legislature or provincial legislative assembly. Following the scheme recommended by the cabinet mission, the total membership of the assembly was to be 389. However, as a result of the partition, a separate constituent assembly was set up for Pakistan and representative of some provinces ceased to be members of the assembly. As a result, the membership of the assembly was reduced to 299. So let us discuss what is cabinet mission. World War II in Europe came to an end on 9th May 1945. Their British cabinet minister were sent to find solution to the question of India's independence. The team of ministers, Lord Patrick Lawrence, Stafford Cripps and A.V. Alexander, was called the cabinet mission. The mission was in India, that is from March 1946 to May 1946. The cabinet mission discussed the framework of the constitution and laid down in some details the procedure to be followed by the constitution drafting body. So the assembly began work on December 1946. After that, first interim national government was framed. The government was constituted on 2 September 1946. It was led by Pandit Nehru. All the members of the interim government were members of Viceroy's Executive Council. The Viceroy continued to be the head of the council. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was designed as the Vice President of the council. So what is the Constituent Assembly? The people of India elected member of the provincial assemblies, who in turn elected the Constituent Assembly. Frank Anthony represented the Anglo-Indian community. Dr. Sachidanand Sinha was the president of the Constituent Assembly for the first meeting. Later, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected president of the Constituent Assembly, while Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was appointed as the chairman of the drafting committee. So this is the basics of the Constituent Assembly. So let us discuss the sources of the Constitution. The Indian Constitution was borrowed from almost all the major countries of the world. But it has its own unique feature. So major sources are Government of India Act 1935. So what are the points derived from the Government of India Act 1935? That is Federal Scheme, Office of Governor, Judiciary, Public Service Commission, Emergency Provision, and Administrative Details. Next, from the British Constitution, Parliamentary System, Rule of Law, Legislative Procedure, Single Citizenship, Cabinet System, then Progressive Parliamentary Privileges, and Bicameralism. Next, US Constitution. From the US Constitution, Parliamentary System, Rule of Law, these are derived from the British Constitution. And from US Constitution, fundamental right, independence judiciary, judicial review, impeachment of president, removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, and post of vice president. And from Irish Constitution, direct principle of state policy, nomination of member of Rajya Sabha, and method of election of president. All these things are derived from the Irish Constitution. The next, Canadian Constitution, federation with a strong center, then vesting of residuary power in the center, appointment of state governor by the center, and advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. All these points are derived from the Canadian institution. Next, Australian Constitution, concurrent list, joint sitting up to houses of the parliament, then freedom of trade and commerce and intercourse. These are derived from the Australian Constitution. Next, Constitution of Germany, suspension of fundamental right during emergency was derived from the Constitution of Germany. Next, French Constitution, that is Republic and ideals of liberty, equality and fraternity in the preamble. These are derived from the French Constitution. Next, South African Constitution, procedure for the amendment of the Constitution and election of member of Rajya Sabha. These are derived from the South African Constitution. Then Japanese Constitution, procedure established by law are derived from the Japanese Constitution. Next one, Constitution of former USSR, Union Soviet Socialist Republic. Fundamental duties, idea of justice, that is social, economic and political in preamble, is derived from the Constitution of USSR. So these are all sources of Constitution which are derived from the different constitution of the world. So friends, next we will discuss different parts of the Indian Constitution and parts described in the Constitution, then important schedule of the Constitution in the next video. So friends, so please subscribe to my channel TS Education Online for day-to-day related videos for civil service preparation.